Hi everyone, and welcome to Sweetpea Seeds Inspirations. My name is Sydney, and today we are going to be working on the double crunch stitch, which is the stitch of the month for Battle of the Stitches that is hosted by Teresa over at Critters Crochet and Heather from Strings and Threads. Both of their links will be down in the description box along with all of the other participants. Now, if you have not seen Battle of the Stitches, it is a collaboration that is again hosted by those two wonderful ladies. You can join in every month if you would like to, whether you are a content creator or a non-content creator, or you can just pick and choose when you would like to participate. The purpose of the collaboration is, for one, if you are a content creator, it kind of helps you get your name out there, but also know other content creators that you might have not heard of, but also kind of get your creativity flowing. So they do go by a book, and which is what the stitches are based on. Now what you have to do is, for the first week, you have to publish a tutorial on the stitch itself. Then you have to create your own pattern using that stitch. So week number 2, which we will be next week on Wednesday, I will share a sneak peek with you of what I am creating with the double crunch stitch. Week number 3 is where we will go ahead and publish a tutorial, but also you need to keep up with community posts because there will be a poll on whose project you deem was the best or you liked the best. And then at the end of the month, there will be a live where we will actually give away whoever won best in show, pretty much. So today's video, we are going to be working the double crunch stitch, which is a simple 2-row repeat. Now, as you see, there is some nicely textured here. All you need to know for this stitch is, of course, how to do your setup chain stitches. You will need to know how to do a slip stitch, but also a double crochet. So it is very beginner friendly. So if you guys are ready, I am. We'll go ahead and get started. So this stitch does require a multiple of any odd stitch that you would like. So for today's tutorial, I will be chaining up a total of 13. So 3 of those stitches are actually going to count as a chain of 3. So I'm going to count back 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. And in that 4th chain from the hook, I am going to go ahead and place a double crochet. And I want to go ahead and place a double crochet into each of my chain stitches here. Now that chain 3 is going to count as a stitch. Now, if you are following along with me and you did the chain of 13, you will now have a total of 10 double crochets plus that extra chain 3 space. So which will give us a total of 11. So that is really our first row repeat, but also a setup row. So for the second row repeat, we're going to go ahead and turn our work. And we're going to place a slip stitch in that very first stitch. And then we are going to place a double crochet into the next. And that is our repeat unit for the second row repeat. So again, we're going to place a slip stitch into that first stitch and then a double crochet into the next. Slip stitch into the following stitch and then double crochet into the next. And we will just continue repeating this until we have made it all the way to the end, which you should leave off with a slip stitch in that chain 3. So I'm going to go ahead and continue repeating, placing a slip stitch into that first and then double crochet into the following, all the way until I have gotten to that chain 3. And again, in that chain 3, we are going to place a slip stitch. Very simple, huh? So now for the first row repeat again over, we're going to go ahead and chain 3. We're going to turn our work. We're going to skip this very first stitch here where that chain 3 counts. And we're going to go to the next stitch and we are going to place a double crochet into each of our stitches. So into that double crochet and into that slip stitch. Placing a double crochet into each of our stitches. So if you are following along with me, by the time you are done with this row, you should have a total of 10 double crochets plus that chain of 3, which will give you 11. And don't forget that very last stitch, which is that slip stitch that we made at the beginning. So that is our 2-row repeat for the double crunch stitch. Again, it gives some nice texture to whatever project you are making. Again, this is for Battle of the Stitches. Teresa's and Heather's links will be down in the description box, along with all the other participants. So if you would please go check out their channels if you haven't. I would greatly appreciate it, along with the other content creators. But come back next week, which is week 2 for Battle of the Stitches, June 2025, where I will be sharing with you guys a sneak peek of what I am making with this stitch. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.